Hey, how you doing? I'm Brian. I'm with Castles Real Estate. I'm here today. I'm here to explain a few things to you as far as the money supply in the United States and why it's out of control. Welcome back, by the way. Thanks for listening to me and listening to my channel. I'm going to make this pretty short and sweet because it's not really hard to understand, in my opinion. So basically, I'm just going to talk about the Federal Reserve and why the money supply, which they're in direct control of, has gone out of control. As you know, 2020 was a rough time for a lot of people and created a lot of uncertainty in the economy, created a lot of uncertainty with the American public. And so I'm going to just show you up until, or I guess I'll show you a chart that dates back before the 2020 and just the money supply and basically how much money was being printed during that time and before that time, and what kind of led to this massive inflation and kind of led to this kind of out of control situation we see today with just the money and just how rates are going up and why it seems like it is, or just why everything just seems kind of out of control when it comes to financials. So right here I got a chart, and it shows here basically, and I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not here to say, oh, well, this president shouldn't have spent this money or this president shouldn't have allowed this. This is not about that. This is simply just trying to show you what's been going on in this economy and why it is absolutely out of control with the money that they're spending. Or the Federal Reserve is like why why it's out of control with the money. Well, spending is a different kind of deal, but just why printing money is just out of control. So you look at here in 1990. And just, it actually went down slowly after that. But then after that, it seems like it went up printing money. Right here we got 2000. That's the dot-com boom when everything kind of took a big crash. So it looks like they printed a bunch of money after that to kind of print their way out of the problem. Then it slowly went down after that. And then right here is 2008. And you can see right here in 2008, they printed a whole bunch of money. And then again, it looks like once they kind of got out of that and things got back to normal, they stopped printing money. It looks like they really dropped, actually, if you look at it right here. It dropped tremendously. But then after 2008, looks like they started printing more money again, more money. And then look at 2020. It's like, oh, 2020 happened. And look at that line. It just goes straight up. It's like a freaking needle. It's like, whoa. Like, what were they doing? And that's, when... Again, they started printing money to help the financial system. And if you can see in the gray here, below this blue line, that is the actual federal funds rate of what the rate was to borrow money for the large banks and for us to borrow money, the consumer. So as you can see, right after 2020, the money supply just shot up. Now, statistically, if you look at 2020, and between 2020 and 2022, apparently some 80% of the money supply was printed between those 2 years. So that is an insane amount of money to print in such a short amount of time. And that can explain a lot of the inflation, a lot of the financials, a lot of this crazy situation, especially even with the housing market. I mean, just the way it shot up like it did. It was, also had a lot to do with the funds rate, or the federal funds rate being low, which kept mortgage rates low. And it's just crazy how they've been printing money like this. Now, I got another chart. It's a little hard to see. I'm just going to kind of show you, bear with me here, it goes from 2017 right here through 2022. So right here, you got 2020. Obviously, everything just shot up. They started printing a massive amount of money. It went down a little bit after things kind of settled. But then again, they started printing more and more money, and it seems like it's going down as we approach 2022. But again, we are printing a massive amount of money, and the money supply is just out of control. I mean, it explains a lot of things. You can kind of draw your own conclusion. Again, I'm not trying to get here political. I'm not trying to get into we should blame this person and that person. That's for another conversation. You can debate that another time. But I am more or less, giving you an idea of why the Federal Reserve printing the massive amount of money that we have is not helping really anything. It's almost like you just got to kind of suffer through this kind of thing. You really shouldn't be printing this kind of money. There's all sorts of speculation, like they're embedded with the big banks, all this and that. a certain president, a certain leader told them to print this amount of money or recommended to print that amount of money. You can make your own conclusion on that. I'm not here to really try to debate that or try to explain that. I'm just simply showing you that printing massive amounts of money in a short amount of time is going to create inflation. That is just how it works. It doesn't matter what you're printing it for. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I understand that 2008 was a rough time. 2020 was obviously a rough time. But if anything, we need to understand that this massive amount of printing money in the United States is not helping a thing. So I'm just kind of giving you an idea of why this is happening or what is causing this to happen. Again, you can draw your own conclusions, but just kind of give you an idea of like what's going on in the world today, or just in the United States, and just what's creating these issues. So thanks again for listening to me. Hopefully I can come up with better content and just kind of figure out how to use a few things. I'm still learning a lot when it comes to kind of making my videos. So thanks for listening, and again, I will I hope to be in contact or just to hear from you guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.